High on a frozen mountain at the very edge of the world, a chained titan hangs in silence and does not scream. Every dawn, an eagle descends to torment him, and every night his immortal body heals so the agony can start again. Zeus could end this suffering in a single heartbeat, yet the mighty king of the gods does not dare to try. Because this ragged prisoner holds one secret, and that secret alone can unmake the shining throne of heaven itself. So the question is not whether Prometheus will finally break. The question is whether he will ever choose to speak. Prometheus, the titan who held the one secret a god could not destroy. To understand these chains, you have to travel back long before Olympus ever ruled a single thing. His name is Prometheus, and it means forethought, the rare gift of seeing the true shape of things to come. His brother is Epimetheus, afterthought, the one who always acts first and understands the danger far too late. Those names are not decoration. They are the entire story, written into them before the story has even begun. Prometheus is a titan, born of the ancient powers that held the cosmos before the young gods were ever crowned. When war erupts between the old titans and a rising god named Zeus, the whole of heaven splits in two. Most titans choose their own kind, their own blood, their own ancient king, Cronus, seated high upon his throne. But Prometheus looks ahead the way only he can and sees clearly which side the threads of fate will favor. So he does the unthinkable. He turns away from his own people and offers his sharp mind to Zeus. With forethought guiding every move, the young gods tear the old order down and cast the titans into the dark. Zeus takes the throne of all creation, and there at his side stands the titan who helped him seize it. They are not enemies in this hour. They are allies, almost kin, bound by a great victory they won together. Remember that well. Everything that follows is not the punishment of a foe. It is the slow betrayal of a friend. Far below the shining new gods, the young earth stirs, and something small begins to move within the mud. Some say Prometheus himself shaped the first humans, kneading them patiently from cold clay and clear river water by hand. He gives them an upright stance, their faces lifted toward the sky instead of bent low toward the dirt. They are fragile, cold, and clever, and the titan comes to love them the way a parent loves a child. But the gods above grow hungry for honor, and a question must finally be settled between heaven and the earth. When mortals make a sacrifice, which portion belongs by right to the gods, and which is left to men? At a windswept place called Mycone, Prometheus steps forward to divide the very first offering the world has ever made. He kills a great ox and splits it into two heaped piles, then calmly invites Zeus himself to choose. One pile is glistening white fat, rich and gleaming, hiding nothing underneath its shine but bare and worthless bone. The other looks like discarded waste, dull entrails piled on top, quietly concealing all the good meat below. Zeus studies the two portions, and the master of forethought waits, breathless, to see what the king will reach for. Zeus chooses the gleaming fat and tears it open before everyone to find nothing but dry bones within. From that day on, mortals keep the meat and burn only bone and rising smoke for the gods above. It is a small trick, almost a joke, but Zeus does not laugh, and the King of Heaven never forgets. He has been outwitted in front of all creation, and a proud king does not forgive a thing like that. So Zeus reaches down and strips away the one gift that lifts the little mortals above the beasts. Fire! No warmth in the long winter. No forge, no bread, no flame at all to push back the howling night. It is a punishment aimed straight at Prometheus through the fragile creatures he loves, and the Titan understands it completely. Zeus believes the whole matter is closed. He has simply forgotten exactly who he is dealing with up here. Forethought does not rage. Forethought plans quietly and patiently in the dark hours when no watchful god is looking. Prometheus climbs to the high places of Olympus where the divine fire burns, eternal, sacred, and strictly forbidden. He carries a hollow fennel stalk, its slow, pithy core able to cradle a glowing ember for many hours. He slips one single coal of heaven deep inside the stalk and quietly turns his back on the gods. Down the mountain he comes, hiding a stolen star against his chest, walking the fire all the way home to mankind. And on the dark earth far below, one small light appears, then another, then 1,000 more in the night. Humanity has fire again, and with that flame comes nearly everything that fire makes possible for them. With it comes craft, the forge and the wheel, the patient arts of building and reason and hard-won skill. Prometheus has handed his children not only warmth, but the very tools to climb up toward the gods themselves. From his high throne, Zeus sees the new light burning across the whole world, and he understands at once. His own ally has defied him a second time, openly and deliberately, for the sake of a little mortal dust. And now the king of the gods stops being merely furious. Now, for the first time, the king becomes afraid. Zeus answers with 2 precise blows, one aimed at all of humanity, one aimed at the Titan who defied him. For mankind, he forges a trap so beautiful that no living man could ever find the will to refuse it. He orders a woman shaped from earth, gifted with grace and cunning and charm, and he names her Pandora. She carries a sealed clay jar, and inside that jar, Zeus has locked away every sorrow the world can hold. He sends her down to Prometheus, the brother whose very name means afterthought, the one who never sees ahead. Prometheus has warned him plainly, never take a gift from Zeus. Send it back sealed and unopened, whatever it is. But Pandora is lovely beyond reason, and Prometheus is exactly what his name has always promised he would be. He opens his door, and then he opens his heart, and in time the fatal jar is opened too. Out pour sickness, hunger, grief, and war, scattering across the whole earth like gray ash on a rising wind. Pandora seals the jar again in terror, and only one fragile thing remains trapped beneath the lid: hope. From that day, humanity suffers every evil ever made and clings to the single small thing that did not escape. That is Zeus's cruel blow against the children. Now comes the heavier blow, aimed at their Titan father. Zeus summons 2 grim and silent servants, Kratos, who is raw power, and Bia, who is pitiless force. They seize hold of Prometheus and drag him toward the farthest, coldest, loneliest edge of the entire living world. The Caucasus Mountains, the frontier beyond all known maps, where civilization ends and the howling wild dark begins. The cruelty is exact and deliberate. The giver of all civilization is exiled far past the very edge of it. Zeus orders his own loyal smith, Hephaestus, to forge the chains and nail the helpless Titan to the rock. And Hephaestus weeps even as he works, because he knows he is binding an old friend, not a hated enemy. He hammers the cold iron anyway, because no one, not even a god, dares defy the iron will of Zeus. They drive the heavy bonds deep, pinning Prometheus against the cliff face beneath a vast and empty gray sky. Then they simply leave him there, alone in the wind and the silence, and the very worst is still to come. At first light, a shape appears against the pale dawn, wings spread wide, an eagle, the personal bird of Zeus. It is the king's own royal emblem, sent down to feast each and every day upon the living Titan. The eagle tears at him until the sun sinks low, and Prometheus endures every slow and burning hour of it. Then night falls at last, and because he is fully immortal, his ruined body silently knits itself whole again. so that at the next dawn the eagle can return and the endless agony can begin once more without any end. This is exactly where most tellings stop, with a rebel chained, a hero broken, and a hard lesson taught. But the true story is only now beginning, because in his heart Prometheus has not been broken at all. Chained to his rock, burning and exhausted, the great Titan of forethought is still thinking, still planning, still ahead. For he knows something enormous that Zeus does not, a single secret buried deep within the threads of fate. Zeus has been pursuing a sea nymph named Thetis, beautiful and divine, fiercely desired by the king of heaven himself. And Prometheus alone knows the prophecy hidden inside her future, the one terrible truth that Zeus simply cannot see. Thetis is fated to bear a son who will grow far greater and stronger than his own royal father. If Zeus fathers that child, the son will one day rise and cast him down, just as Zeus cast down Cronus. The king who overthrew his father is fated to be overthrown by his own son, unless someone warns him first. And the only being in all of creation who can give that warning is the prisoner chained to the rock. Suddenly, the chains look very different. Suddenly, we are not watching a simple punishment unfold up here at all. We are watching a cold war between two vast cosmic powers, each one holding something the other desperately needs. Zeus holds the only key to Prometheus's freedom and the merciful end of his long and bottomless pain. Prometheus holds the only key to Zeus's survival, the one buried secret that keeps the high throne from falling. Either of them could end this standoff with a single spoken word, and neither will ever be the first. Zeus sends messenger after messenger up the mountain, demanding the name, the woman, the path away from his own doom. And the Titan on the rock, with the eagle's cold shadow falling across him, refuses the king every single time. He will not bargain, he will not beg. He calls the great king of the gods a tyrant to his face. He says he knew this exact punishment long before he ever stole the fire, and he chose it anyway. Years dragged past, then long centuries, then whole ages no mortal mind could ever hold or even begin to imagine. The ego comes 10,000 times, and 10,000 times the patient Titan heals himself and waits some more. Mountains slowly wear down. Rivers carve out new paths. Whole races of men rise up and crumble back into dust. And still Prometheus hangs there, holding the one secret that could save his cruel tormentor or destroy him utterly. 30,000 long years, the oldest songs all say, he keeps his iron silence against the master of the sky. And that silence quietly reshapes the world. Unwilling to risk the prophecy, Zeus finally gives up his pursuit of Thetis. The sea nymph is married off instead to a mortal man named Peleus, living far beneath the notice of the gods. Their son is born safe and glorious, a warrior whose ringing name will echo through every age to come. Achilles. Greater than his father, yes, but no threat at all to heaven, falling out exactly as the prophecy foretold. The whole vast tragedy of Troy is quietly set in motion by one Titan's refusal to speak a single name. That is the true measure of his power. Chained and suffering, Prometheus is still steering the very fate of the world. But forethought sees much further than 30,000 years, and Prometheus has always quietly known how this ends. One day, a mortal climbs the Caucasus, broad-shouldered and lion-skinned, weary to the bone from a lifetime of impossible labors. His name is Heracles, and he too is a son of Zeus, wandering the rough and lonely edges of the world. He sees the great Titan on the rock and the eagle already wheeling down for its slow daily feast. Heracles lifts his mighty bow, draws back a single steady arrow, and takes careful aim at the bird of the king. The arrow flies true, the eagle falls. For the first time in an entire age, no shadow crosses the rock. And here is the secret hidden inside the secret. Zeus allows it. The king has quietly been waiting for this too. Freeing Prometheus by his own son's hand brings great glory to Heracles and lets the proud king save his face. The Cold War ends not with a surrender, but with a quiet, careful, face-saving peace struck between equals. At last, Prometheus speaks the prophecy aloud, and Zeus, finally certain he is safe, lets the old standoff end. But Zeus is still a king above all things, and a king must never look defeated before the watching world. So he sets one last small condition upon the stubborn Titan. He could never once truly break or bend. Prometheus must wear a ring of plain iron, set with a single chip of his Caucasus rock, forever, so that the king can still proudly claim, before all creation, that Prometheus remains bound to the very stone. It is a transparent fiction, and both of them know it, but it lets two enormous, proud powers walk away. The Titan comes down from the mountain at last, free, the first being ever to face Zeus and not lose. He gave his fragile children fire and craft and the long, hard climb toward everything they would one day become. He paid for that gift in 30,000 burning dawns, and he never once cried out to Zeus for mercy. Zeus held the power to torture him without any end, but never the power to make him bow and yield. Because the king held the chains, but the prisoner held the secret, and the secret quietly held the throne. So the question was never truly whether Prometheus would break beneath the eagle and the cold, biting iron. The question was whether he would ever speak, and for 30,000 years, by his own iron will, he did not. And that is why, in the oldest stories of all, the fire on every human hearth still belongs to him. Forethought outlasts force. The fire was always his.